Good morning. Welcome to the dealer-only auto auction over here in Clarksville, Indiana. We're gonna get in here and check out some cars. I've got my list, I've got my scanner. Let's see what we can find. Among this sea of cars, we're heading to our first one. It's one that I typically try to stay away from unless I can put my hands on it. So the important thing about being able to come to the auction and touch things, you can feel things, you can see if the transmission shifts weird, you can notice any dents, dings, things that would be hard to catch on pictures. But the main thing is to make sure the drivetrain's good. So this first car is a Ford Escape. They're a little bit known for their transmissions not being as high quality, but with that we're gonna drive it and make sure everything is good, and here she is. So definitely a well optioned car. Looks like it's got good tires, pretty color. Being a titanium, it's the one to have. So as long as it drives out good, we'll be bidding on this one. So to show a little bit of my process here, I get in the car, make sure all of our windows work, all of the buttons and knobs, and make sure our radio works, make sure we've got heated seats, make sure things can move back and forth, check the sunroof if there's a sunroof. We don't want to miss anything. Looks like everything's pretty solid. Then we plug in the scanner, make sure there's no codes hidden. Sometimes even with a check engine light not present, there'll still be a code in the system, so you can have an issue that might not be present at the time but would have been present, and you want to know that so that you're not bidding on something that's going to have an issue after it gets back to the dealership. So with that, let me get this scanned. Let's take this for a drive and we'll check it out. So literally, just to go off of what I just said, this is a perfect example. There's no check engine light currently, but with the code scanner pulled up, it's reading a permanent code of a cylinder 3 misfire detected. So we're going to drive it and see how it is, see if it acts up. But this is literally the perfect example of, even with a check engine light not present, you can still find an issue with the vehicle. So always plug in a scanner when you're checking something out. All right, so we're buckled in, we're adjusted, we're ready for the test drive. We're gonna take this thing down the test track. So this auction is pretty nice, having a space dedicated to being able to drive a vehicle. So not only can you just drive it in the parking lot, but you can actually get it up to speeds. On a nice day, you can get it up to 45, 50 mile an hour-ish, to let it cycle through the gears and hear how it revs out, and test the brakes, make sure it doesn't pull one way or the other or shudder. So it's a great thing that they've got a spot where we can drive. So right now we're gonna head back there. I think you just saw a car go across, but this place is absolutely jam-packed full of cars. They run about 700 cars a week. And you've got a wide range of vehicles. You've got things that are run and drive, clean as can be, fresh from high-end stuff like Audis down to beat up and missing headlights and totally wrecked vehicles. So there's a wide range of things here. But let's line up and take it down the test track and see how this transmission feels. Looks like I left our sunroof open from checking it out. Let me close it back. Got a little wind noise. And rip it back down the other way. She pulls to 50 mile an hour just fine. No slip, no misfire detected at the moment. So seems like a good candidate. We'll put a bid on it. So I kind of have the same repetitive process. I start on the driver's side, look at my mirror, go around my doors, check out the front of the vehicle. Looks like there's a chip in the windshield up here. Make sure there's no damage on the grill or the headlights. Check my tires going around. These look pretty solid. There's a crew that actually washes cars while they're parked here to make sure that things look good. Go through and check our interior. So this is one of the trucks to have. 12-inch screen, pano roof, and Longhorn interior always adds to it as well. Heated seats in the rear, of course the bins underneath. These seats recline forward and back with this lever. If I was in it, I'd be able to show you better. Tires are good, has a bed liner. This is our bread and butter right here. We'll sell this thing all day long. For some reason the tailgate's not opening. Just looking for any damage in the door sills, making sure that there's no body damage that we're missing, and then of course looking to make sure the quality of the seats look good, nothing's tore up, there's no bad smells. Everything on this one seems to be in pretty good shape other than that tailgate, but that would be the reason our tailgate's not opening, is the vehicle's dead. It's got no juice. So with an electronically controlled tailgate switch, we won't know nothing with this thing not starting right up for us. Right now we're in a 2020 GMC Acadia. This one, there's my scanner going off. This one has a couple of different features that I like to be on the lookout for. So main thing to look for in a vehicle for me when I'm buying something, I like to have all-wheel drive. I like to find vehicles that are leather seats. I like to have a roof, but not completely necessary. Heated seats are always a plus, so this one's got heated seats. And then this one, actually, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but it has a heads-up display. So there's buttons over here on the side for heads-up display. That's one of the extra benefits to some of these newer cars, as well as CarPlay. This one's probably got plug-in, being a 2020, but you've still got Bluetooth and Sirius radio, so you've got a couple of different options. But those are just some of the couple of features that I like to look for when trying to find a vehicle. So here's how a lot of the vehicles end up getting here as well, being, you know, some repos, you'll have junk and garbage in the back. But I wanted to show this one because this is a bit of an odd bird for a Laramie truck. So this is a 1500 Laramie. It's a 2022. And this thing has a 6th seat in the middle in a Laramie. So normally this is the, you know, full-size center console, but this one, someone optioned it with the 6th seat. I guess they had a big family, I don't know, but this is also a truck that will sell. The 6th seat might change things just a little bit for how quickly we can get rid of it, but it's still got good options. It's a Laramie, it's got heated and cooled seats, it's got the reclining seats in the back. No roof, but a clean truck, newer model, 65,000 miles. It'll be one that we can get rid of. So there's definitely all kinds of different things here at the auction that you can find. This would be one of them. Look at this truck. Someone has taken a 1500, thrown wheels, tires, aftermarket bumper, grill. She's got a winch on her. It says Rocky Ridge. It's not actually a Rocky Ridge truck, but this is the kind of truck where you either make a lot of money on it or you spend too much and you didn't win at all. So I've already checked this one out. We're gonna probably bid on this one and see if we can get it. These kinds of trucks are hard to evaluate though, with having all of the extras and aftermarket stuff. It's still just a 1500 LTZ truck, you know what I mean? So when everyone's gonna look at it, see the VIN and all the info, it's gonna say just a 1500 LTZ. But how do you account for $3,000 in wheels and tires, $2,000 in lift, you know, the aftermarket bumper and fender flares? I mean, it's a good looking truck for the right person. So we'll see if we can make this one happen. Next to it is our next one we're here to look at. This is an SRT Durango, so it's got the 6.4 liter Hemi in it. It's pretty well loaded out. They have the these are Brembo brakes, they say SRT. The interiors are super nice with the leather Alcantara combo. This one has demonic red leather demonic red seat belts, heated rear seats, roof. This is definitely one of the ones to have. We do a lot of the RTs just because of price point. They're a lot more friendly for people on a budget, but still want a nice high performance car. Looks like this one has both of its mirrors are cracked. Things get a little tight if you can't tell. Look at how ginormous those discs and calipers are. I mean, it's got the big brakes. This is the Destroyer Gray. It's got the sporty hood, Pirelli Scorpion tires on it. So those either are the original tires or they put the factory ones back on it. This one's a 22 with 29,000 miles. And for some reason it's running red light. So to give a highlight of what the different lights mean, red light means as is, no warranty implied or even able to be gotten for it. Oh, she sounds good. So you've got your performance modes, your pages, your race options. This one's got the trailer brake controller. You've got your launch mode, heated and cooled seats, heated steering wheel. She's a little low on fuel, but we're gonna take her for a drive. So we've been through our checklist. The windows work, radio works, blower motor works without any noise. For all intents and purposes, I can't see why this thing would run red light. Of course, I understand that the mirrors are cracked on it, as you can see. The mirrors don't look healthy, but everything else on this thing is super nice. Being a 22 with 29,000 miles, depending on when it was manufactured, it might still be in its 3-year 36,000 mile warranty. So even without that, it's still in its powertrain warranty. It's 5-year 60. So I'm not really worried about the powertrain. Brakes on this thing are fairly expensive, and tires felt to be in good shape. We're going to test out the brakes and see how they are. But if everything else is in good shape, this is a very solid piece. I mean, I can replace the mirror glass. Depending on if you can just get the glass, typically you can get lucky and only replace the glass, and it'd be $100 a piece. But if you have to replace the whole mirror assembly per side, you're looking at $500 to $800 per side, and then of course times 2. So hopefully this got enough gas to get us down the test track, but I know it'll do it quickly. So let's roll on back here, and maybe we'll even turn on the performance pages while we run across, and you can see all the different gauges it shows. It shows a dyno option, so you can see your graph of horsepower and torque. So we'll line up here and give her the beans and see what it does. See if it's in good shape. All right, truck on the other end's turned around. Looks like we're clear for takeoff. My goodness. Oh, and again, there she's running low on fuel. She didn't like that. But my goodness, did it launch us. I think we just ran out of fuel. Well, this is what happens at the auction. So for the first time this has happened to me at the auction, we made it down the test track, but we did not make it back. We are sitting here out of gas waiting for someone to bring us some fuel. So looks like we're about to have that happen. So I'm halfway done with our list, probably a little bit more. We just ran through a whole line of Avis cars, so a whole bunch of off rental Rogues and Ford Edges. So there's a lot of 36,000 mile, a hair under or hair over cars, some with 40,000 miles that are in pretty decent shape. Of course, previous rental cars, so you gotta look and make sure they're not beat up. Most of the time they're not. These are more of the family kind of car, not something sporty like a Mustang that someone's gonna be hard on. But we're heading down this way, down the sea of cars to our next one. Got a Ram truck we're gonna look at. So here's our next Ram truck we're looking at. Notice the e-torque, not Hemi e-torque, so this is a V6 truck. This is an old Enterprise unit, got a little bit of a ding here. Looks like the tires are in good shape. Bumper's got a little bit of a dent in it, nothing crazy. It's an older work truck. But it is a Laramie, once again with a 6-seater. That's 2 today. This one's got the tow group that allows for trailer brake and trailer tow from the console here, or trailer controls, turning left and right, backing up, out of a V6 truck. So a little odd, but still something we'd sell. So to break down how the lanes are split up, they're A, B, C, D, E, F, G, T, U. There's a couple different ways they break down. Dang, that's a nice looking interior. Right now we're going down A lane. A lane is normally Bluegrass Audi starting it off, and then they have other dealer consigned cars. B and C is the same with dealer consigned cars, but a lot of the times those are red light. And then you get into D, which is commercial, as well as like rentals and other consigners. Then you get into E and F, which is kind of the more rough cars, but not terrible. There's still some diamonds in the rough. And then T is like messed up enterprise cars, and U is completely inoperable. So you'll come across all the worst stuff there. Here's a nice, this is what I started out with, my bread and butter. These are police Chargers. I've had a few of these in my day. They're very fun and well kept most of the time. Maintenance wise, this one's an all-wheel drive variant, so a 5.7 Hemi with the all-wheel drive. They only offered that to the civilians for a few years, and it was in the older body style than this. The 14 body style was the last one they did the all-wheel drive for the civilians. So to have an all-wheel drive Hemi in the Charger, that's the only way you can go to get one, unless you I guess do the swap yourself. But we're rolling through the sea of the A lane, and we're gonna see what other nice ones we can find before we have to go start bid time. So the last couple cars I've got are over here in the A line, the certified plus stuff from Bluegrass, Audi, Land Rover, Jaguar. They all have pretty high-end stuff, and they don't like to retail their used vehicles unless they can CPO it. So this is one of them we've already looked at. This one's pretty solid, good looking truck, well optioned, being a Denali. We've got a Kia Telluride, well optioned, good looking newer model car. That one we've already checked out, it's solid. And the last one we checked out over here was this Cadillac, this Escalade. It's got power running boards, it's got the right rims, it's got all the look. It's pretty solid. The last thing I had on my list, so I kind of go out of order, but I try to go up the lanes, down the lanes, back and forth. Sometimes I'll go out of order, like this B unit. This was the only one I had. It's B2. It's an Accord, but its battery is completely dead, so it looks to be in good shape. Windows stuck rolled down, but tires are decent. It's a 2010 with a roof and heated seats. So this is not something that we typically go after, but it's a clean little car, and I know we can sell it. So everyone's in the market for a Honda, right? But other than that, guys, that's all I've got before it's time to bid. So these are all the cars I can show you. I'd show you the bidding. They line them up over here and go through the process that way, but it's going to be loud and hard to do things in there and crowded. So appreciate you guys coming with me, and see you on the next one. It's been about a week since the auction last week. We've got a couple of our cars have dropped, actually almost everything. We're missing maybe one or two, but let's go check out some of our auction buys from last week. So this is one of the cars we checked out during the week at the auction. This is a blacked out Escalade, not anything super expensive, just probably about as expensive as my parents' first house. Original MSRP on this thing was I think mid to high 80s, and my parents' first house was like 60 grand. But anyway, it's power running boards, all-wheel drive, 6.2 liter. It scoots and boots, plenty of space, power lift gate. It also has the kick assist. So at nighttime, it lights up a little circle on the ground, and you just kick right where that circle's at, and it'll up and down. You've got the nice stripes in the rear where someone had it nice and clean. Power for the third row. Let's see if we can get the hands free. There she goes. I love the big, long taillights on the back of this. Definitely an iconic look. You've got rear entertainment. One of the things that I really like about a lot of these third-row SUVs, and Cadillac in specific, has the vents up above. So I don't know, when you've got kids or young ones, to be able to have a vent, be able to blow straight down on them, really makes a difference. In my opinion, when I sit in the back, I love being able to have the vent blow right down on me. This one has, of course, the Bose sound system, heads-up display, sunroof, all of the nice, sleek black Cadillac features with the wood grain inserts. Definitely a good mix of classic style with modern performance. So to most people, when talking about Ram trucks, they probably think Night Edition is the only way to go. It's obviously a great look,
But in my opinion, the Longhorn is absolutely top dog as far as interiors go. You still have the chrome exterior features. You get the Longhorn badge. Some of them have power running boards, some of them have stationary running boards. But what's really key on these is the brown saddle interior. You get different wood grain trim. This one has the 12-inch screen with the panoramic sunroof and the reclining rear seats. This is an absolute beauty, and it's a comfortable ride.